So the holidays are here and you're feeling festive and you're ready to have fun and relax and spend some of that money. Well, before you do any of that, there's a few things that you might actually want to avoid so that you don't make any regrets. And I know that I've made plenty of money mistakes during the holidays. So of course in this video, I wanted to talk through some of the mistakes that I made so that hopefully you don't make those same mistakes and we don't end up broke by the end of this year. Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Veronia, and on this channel I talk about things to do with money, your career, and having a positive mindset for success. So if that does sound great to you, then of course you can subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification below so you don't miss out on any new videos. Now I know that during this season it might be a little bit different, obviously because we have the pandemic, but usually a lot of us will be spending the holidays with our family, friends, and even workmates as well. But I know with most of us, even though we're spending time with family and friends, a lot of the times we'll end up spending a lot of money too. Now the last thing I want is for you to end up spending all of your money in December and then come January you're completely broke. So that's exactly why I made this video, so we can try and avoid some of these major mistakes. But Veronia, it's the holidays. We're supposed to spend money. I mean, isn't that the whole point? Yes, of course you want to have fun and enjoy your holidays, but that also doesn't mean that you need to spend every single penny you have, okay? So please guys, I'm begging you, try to avoid these mistakes. So the first mistake I want to talk about is when people go into debt during the holidays. Now I'm not talking about going into debt just to try and survive, for example. I'm talking about going into debt to go and buy presents and just because it's Christmas. Guys, if you can't afford presents, you can't afford it. For me, there is no shame in telling people, look, I'm not in a situation where I can give you presents right now, but of course I can give you something that's free, which is my time. And actually, I think you'll find with a lot of people, just spending time with them is the best present you can give. And guys, I was doing a bit of reading and I found that people are actually planning to get into debt for Christmas. Let that sink in. And if you're watching this and you planned on doing the same thing, please don't. Please, I am begging you. I am actually begging you. Do not go into debt for Christmas. And I know with a lot of these store cards and credit cards, they're obviously encouraging you to just buy now and pay later. But when are you going to pay? When are you going to pay? Do you really want to take Christmas debt into next year when you're trying to set your new financial goals? And if you already know that getting into high interest debt isn't a good thing, please guys, try to educate your family and friends because a lot of people don't even realize. And if you want, remember, you can always send them to my channel. So these presents come to about £1,000, and if I do buy them, it means I can't actually pay my rent. But if I put it on my credit card, then that means I only need to pay like £20 a month. Guys, the majority of people are living paycheck to paycheck, okay? So if you're in that position but you then want to go and spend high interest debt because you see that Black Friday has a sale, really? And I'm so sorry guys that I'm giving you some tough love, but I really think you need to hear this. I really don't want to see you adding fuel to the fire because you're buying things that you can't afford. Because remember guys, you will eventually have to pay that back someday. And let's say you take out a credit card and you end up having credit card debt. If you're only paying the minimum payment, that could take months or even years to pay off. And guys, remember, the interest on those credit cards could be double digits. Now, am I saying don't ever use a credit card to make purchases? Of course not. But what I'm saying is that if I'm using a credit card, then I will always pay the full balance. You will never just see me pay the minimum payment. And if I knew that I'm likely to get into credit card debt or I would really struggle to pay the full balance, then for me, credit cards would just be an absolute no-no. So guys, if there's one thing that you take from this video, please do not get into debt because of Christmas, please. So the second money mistake I think you should be avoiding is overspending during the holidays. Guys, consumers are set to spend about £6.4 billion on discount days. £6.4 billion. 6.4. But you know what guys, I can't even be that upset because we're not taught about this in schools. And at the end of the day, the companies that are doing these discount days, the reason why they're doing it is because they want to make money. So yeah, what can you do? But guys, even during a pandemic, 1 in 5 people said that they would see an increase in their spending. 1 in 5. I mean, it's not like inflation has flown through the roof. So why would we be increasing our spending? I'm just really confused. Like, if you guys know, like, please let me know in the comments, because in my head, I would have thought that the fact that we're going to be spending less time with like our work colleagues and friends and family, wouldn't you think that we'd be spending less, not more? In fact, isn't this like the perfect time to decrease your spending? Because you're not going to be seeing as many people. So doesn't that mean that you wouldn't need to buy all these presents or you wouldn't need to go out to eat and spend money at all these restaurants? I'm just really confused. issues. I feel like I'm using this video just to vent out my anger. And I'm just gonna say this right now. I think that if you can actually afford to be overspending on presents and eating out, then you can afford to be building up your emergency fund. So please, have you got an emergency fund? There, I've said it. Again, guys, I know it's tough love, but it's because I care. I really don't want to end up seeing you broke over the next few months because of Christmas. Hey friends, so I know we're not gonna see each other, but I still really want to give you an expensive gift. Oh, you weren't gonna get me anything? Why? Because we're not seeing each other. What, you actually wanted to save money? So please guys, especially this year, now is not the time to be overspending. So the third money mistake I think you guys should be avoiding is not actually planning for the holidays. And for some reason, a lot of people will forget that they're gonna need money during that time. Now, if for example, suddenly you lost your job and you had no income at all, then that's a completely different situation. But even with that, I wouldn't be expecting you to then be spending money on buying presents anyway. Because if you don't have any income coming in, your main thing is going to be thinking about survival, not buying Christmas presents. But rather than planning for your purchases, a lot of people will end up waiting to the last minute. Now, I'm not talking about waiting to buy the purchases in the last minute. I'm talking about the money side, okay? So I'm talking about how you actually plan to save for Christmas. Because if you know that during the holidays you do tend to eat out a lot, or you tend to go to events, or you tend to buy a lot of presents, then really and truly you should be planning for that. And this is especially important because if you don't plan and you then end up overspending, you could even end up getting into debt because you didn't realize how much you needed. Wow, Christmas was expensive, you know. I should really start saving. I mean, I'm broke now, but I'll just have to start in the next few months. What was I saving for again? I mean, it's summer, it can wait anyway. Oh, Christmas came around quickly. Now I know that it might be a little bit too late to plan for your holidays this year, but guys, that means that it shouldn't be you next year because you now have a whole year to prepare. So by the end of 2021, I would assume that you have a full plan together and you know what you're doing. So the next money mistake that I think a lot of people do, which I have been guilty of this as well, is actually spending too much money on restaurants and entertainment. Now guys, I know, of course it's the holidays, you want to enjoy yourself and have fun, but you don't need to go broke on entertainment and drinks. So if your budget says that you can go out 3 times, that's great, you can go out 3 times, but then that doesn't mean that you can end up going out 5 times instead. Again, your budget said 3 times, not 5. Okay, so my budget says that I can spend £40 this month, but if we go here, then I'll end up spending £60 this month. Well, it is the holidays. Guys, please enjoy yourselves, yes, but was that dessert really worth you going broke? Was it? So the 5th money mistake I think you should be avoiding is not actually making a budget. And if you've been watching my videos for a while, then you know that I absolutely preach about budgeting. But I actually think that this is especially important during the holidays. Because if you don't end up budgeting, then how are you going to know how much you need to spend on food, on presents, or even entertainment? And again, if you're less likely to budget, then you could end up overspending or even getting into debt, which is of course what we want to avoid. So how much do you plan on spending on Christmas presents this year? And what about Christmas dinner? So what about when the family comes over? Wow, you're in trouble. But if you are new to my channel, then I do have a few videos on how you can actually budget your money. So of course I'll put that up here for you guys, and I'll put that link in the description below. But guys, you might actually find that a lot of people do overspend just because they haven't made a budget and they haven't been able to tell their money where to go. So guys, don't be like those people. Now I know it might not seem fun, but guys, budgeting has been an absolute game changer for me, and I'm sure it will be for you too. So now that you're aware of some of the things you should be avoiding, make sure you are subscribed to my channel, because next week I'm going to be doing a video on how you can actually save money during the holidays. And also remember to hit that bell notification so you don't miss out. But if you did like this video, then please do give it a thumbs up, as it really does continue to support the channel. And let me know in the comments, are you guys guilty of overspending during the holidays? I do post every Tuesday and Friday, so if you would like to know more, once again you can subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next week.